Welcome back to LinkedIn Logs. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premier LinkedIn influencer / OnlyFans podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. You'll have to forgive me. I literally just finished an interview with a comedian, which you will see at some point in maybe 2 weeks. And the Zoom is still converting. The Zoom is still converting the video. Yes, I still use Zoom. We only do, and you can see if you're watching the video, you can just see this giant sweat stain. I've been sitting here talking for the past 40 minutes, and then I was going to go and not do that. But now, and then I was like, oh, crap, I have to record this podcast. That literally, I sat down before the interview. I sat down with the comedian. I sat down before the interview. I sat down to record this show 3 minutes in, and then all of a sudden, it was, hey, my calendar was like, hey, buddy, listen, you got something to do at 4 o'clock, and I was like, it's 3:45. Okay, I don't have time to do this. And there, all right. So the thing's been converted, so that's great. I'm gonna throw it on the desktop, and now we can get through with this episode 10. Yes, that's what the file name says in Audition. Episode 10 of LinkedIn Logs. Before, I'll do exactly what I was doing before. We are in peril for jobs. What have I been doing? None other than applying for jobs. And unfortunately, it is so, I'm sorry, I'm getting emails about a certain indictment that's happening from in New York City, and there is so many funny headlines from Deadline and Variety that I'm looking at. Any Hoosers, there are a ton of there's not that much in terms of jobs right now, and we'll get to that in a second. But I will give you a look at what I've been doing. So right now I have been why is this not popping up? Nope. Okay. I've been applying to jobs, and I'm on the Warner Media or Warner Bros. Discovery. I made that same mistake when I started doing the show. The Warner Bros. Discovery Workday. Let's see if I can not. Nope, that is the wrong thing. All right, let's see if I can do this. Everybody just got a full view of what my the plans are. The ideas are, and I might have to blur something out now. Anyway, the plans that were the entirety of the plans for if you're watching the video of LinkedIn Logs just showed. So I have to. Anyway, all right. So right now you can see if you're watching the video, and I'll describe it for the audio listener. I'm on the Warner Bros. Discovery Workday, and I won't scroll up any further because my email is visible up there, and I'm not blurring that out. But my voice is so deep and so resonant that I'm just my right hand is on my mouse, and the desk is vibrating, and I'm thinking, what is like? Am I getting an email? What's on my phone? And my phone's vibrating. What's going on? No, it's just my voice. That's how powerful I am. Oz, the great and powerful. Can we watch that movie anymore? So I click on the inactive. It's because James Franco starred in that movie, and also it's bad. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie in a long time. What was that? 2013. Let's see. Oz, the Great and Powerful, 2013. So I can get, here's the thing. I can go, this movie came out in 2013 and it stars these people, but I can't do math. I can't do math at all. I ain't good at no math. Now, if you look at my applications, you can see that the most recent ones, I'm looking at the inactive. I have 71 inactive. I've applied to way more. These are just the ones that are still here, and they go as far back as June 2nd, 2021. The most recent ones are March, February, and January. Now, this is not all the jobs. Prior to June 2021, I applied to, I'm not kidding, like hundreds of jobs. And then in the active slot, the most recent are 2 Marches and 2 Januaries. There are many that have either been deleted or are missing. it just entirely, or people were hired in those positions, or they were just taken away from the site and hired internally, whatever, what have you. But you can go back to right now I have 15 that are active, and you can go back all the way to the earliest one is September, but then it's September 2022. But then after that, it goes December 2022 and onward. There are tons that are missing, and because I know that they're missing because I know what I've applied to before, and it is just a shame that they're not there anymore. You can see that they have the job requisition numbers, they have the title, but then they also have the application status. One of the worst things about I'll say Warner Bros. Discovery's Workday website is that they leave their application statuses unchecked, unkempt. They are all of the jobs that are that are grayed out, that are no longer available, that are still listed under active, are considered under active because they're under consideration. There are 2 jobs that I've applied to within this 15 that are still blued, that are still hyperlinks that I can still go through. Dang it! I scrolled back up. I have to. I had to take something out. I had to blur something now. I had to blur my email. And it's unfortunate. It's a shame because of that. I also have to do some extra work, but that because of actually, I'm going to write that down now. I'm going to have to write down blur email. Blur email and Notion. There we go. So I don't forget. And it's a shame that I would rather, because I was just on the Disney Workday earlier today. I would very much rather have the Disney. My Disney Workday is admittedly just dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs shorter because they make it so hard to apply for jobs there. It's very true that their Workday goes directly to their employment website, and you have to click through, I would say comfortably 7 different pages in order to find, do you want to work in production? All right. What do you want to do in production? Do you want to do this in production? Okay. Well, and it takes you to 7 different pages. It's crazy. And it's hard to imagine that you have to keep applying to these positions over and over again in order to get them. It's just tough. It's tough. And they take away jobs all the time. And it doesn't matter. At this point, I'm just grasping for straws. They have 81 open jobs, and they're all like IT based, and they've all been posted, upwards of 5 days ago. Okay, now that takes us into the jobs report. With Good Friday being on Friday, the jobs report has been released early. It's now, jobs report is something that happens once a month on the second week of the month, and we're going to be looking at. Let me see. We're going to be looking at the jobs here. If you're watching the video, you'll see I just pulled up Yahoo Finance. The jobs report ushers in a new quarter, and there's things to watch this week. Now, this is written by Miles Udland over at Yahoo Finance, a website I do not like going to. I don't like Yahoo at all. In fact, I'm going to pop over to CNBC. Now, the jobs openings. This is from Jeff Cox at CNBC. They fell below 10 million in February for the first time in nearly 2 years. We're seeing, for the past couple of months, all I've been seeing on places like CNBC's Squawk Box or like basically any news organization, they've been saying jobs are available. That is not true. I've seen a lot of, especially in my line of work, a lot of layoffs. I've seen a lot of just frustration coming from people, from creatives. And then also, let's go into the tech industry. We've got Meta, Amazon, Apple. Has Apple done any layoffs? Let's see. Okay, I definitely didn't do anything. Apple layoffs. Yeah, Apple's doing layoffs too. Wow. Okay, interesting. I was just pulling something out of my butt, but apparently that's happening. Now, the available positions totaled 9.93 million, which is a drop of 632,000 from January's downwardly revised number, according to the Labor Department's JOLTS. And the JOLTS stands for, let me go to LinkedIn because I also brought something up. That is called the Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey. The first time that's the first time it dipped since May 2021. The first time it dipped under 10 million in May 2021. The quits rate apparently, which is people who quit, which is voluntarily, rose 2.6%. The ratio of openings to unemployed Americans fell from 1.9 to 1.67. The pre-pandemic ratio is 1.2. All right. So we've seen that the jobs report is reporting that there's a lot of people without jobs, yours truly included, and apparently the Fed has said that the labor market is hot, or has sensed or suggested that the labor market is hot, and it's just so it can bring down inflation, but. Where, if anything, that everybody is talking about, that there's jobs are easy to get, where are these jobs? And a lot of it, I'm guessing, comes from people. Because if you quit your job and you think, like if you have the ability and if you're lucky enough to be able to leave your job and go, I'm going to take some time off, and because I've seen that, that's what makes up my entire LinkedIn. Then you have and you're financially stable, you have no clear vision of what is actually happening out there. I see a lot of people who have been laid off, who have stacks and stacks of years over at, whatever, Facebook or Disney or, Warner. And then they're complaining about not being able to work. You have to see from the standpoint of people who were laid off, who don't have the ability to go out and find something immediately. The labor market is starting to loosen. This comes from the job report, from Jeffrey Roach, chief economist at LPL Financial. As a number of job openings decline in most sectors, as the economy slows, firms will likely cut openings and workers will be less likely to quit in search of better hours and higher pay. Although, along with the decline in job openings, hires and separations also decreased slightly. So people aren't willing to, or companies aren't willing to let people go more often because they don't want to, especially if it's an important position, they don't want to have to train somebody. So you might as well suck it up for a couple more months in order to wait out what's happening in the job market. And people, I've heard it before, people are hired somewhere and they can't start for a couple of months because the company's waiting to be able to have extra funds to pay them. I feel like that's exactly where I'm going. I'll finally find a job this week, and then they'll be like, "Oh, late May." And I'm like, "What the heck am I supposed to do until then?" Quits rose by 146,000 to just over 4 million. Professional and business services saw a slide of 278,000. Trade, transportation, and utilities increased by 210,000. Accommodation and food services dropped 125,000. And those are the jobs apparently that gauge consumer demand, quote unquote. The JOLTS release comes 3 days ahead of the fresh non-farm payroll numbers for March. It's tough out there, and I don't see where anybody is able to thrive in this type of, although I did, this is going to be way too much information. I did just go out with a young lady who quit her job on purpose in order to get a new job, and she got one within they interviewed her and she got it like 2 weeks or something like that. And yeah, I mean, good for her. I'm sitting here, I was like, well, I saw Dungeons and Dragons today. I spent $7 on a ticket. Gotta take that out of my food. Oh my god, we'll never see each other again. I mean, that's not the only reason, but so with this drop, I'm wondering, when is there ever going to be an upturn? Like, is this just going to slide into a recession because we're in a recession like time? But is this ever going to turn into something that is a little bit more tangible towards a recession? Not that I want one, but it's we're never going to be able to continue handling this as long as these job openings keep declining. And by we, I mean me. I need a friggin' job. Although I do want to have I'd say a big shout out to somebody who years ago, I rented their room. I took over their lease in an apartment, and in a 3-bedroom, not townhome, but it was in a townhome like structure. And I took over their bedroom, and this person reached out to me on Friday. Followed me on LinkedIn, and then Monday, I got a message from them. Hey, what do you do in the entertainment industry? And I was like, oh, I produce essentially. And she's like, well then, I will reach out to people I know. I see you're looking for a job. And I know how hard it is. And then, no promises, obviously, but that is something that I very much appreciated, because it is so it's finally somebody going, not giving me this false, sense of hope of, hey, this is like you're smart, you're going to get a job soon or some crap like that. I mean, this is somebody who says, hey, I'm able to help. If I'm able to help, then I want to be able to help somebody. Because that's what I try to do. I try to help that person. I try to help people if I have any type of knowledge in that sector. And again, it's not just about jobs. It's also about just humans helping humans. There's a guy that works at my gym at the front desk, and he wants to edit videos. As a job. I asked him. He's like, hey, what do you want to do? And he's like, I just want to edit. And I was like, oh, well, dude, what are you doing to do it? And he told me what I was doing. I'm like, all right, no matter what, just keep shooting video, keep editing. People love to see that. And that's it. That's the type of advice and nurturing that can happen when somebody with knowledge in the area, instead of me just going, well, keep at it. You got your thing. And I know they sound similar and they sound the same, but they're not. So shut your dumb mouth. All right, let's do this one last thing. I just clicked away from the whatchamacallit. Well, so I realized this is such a stupid bit. I realized that I had not. I put up a video on OnlyFans, and I realized that I had not. Let me just unbutton one button here. That I had not recorded an intro video. And intro videos on YouTube channels, they are so popular. People love a good 1 minute long intro video. So I'm thinking, hey, I need to introduce people to me. I can't just expect them to pay me to take my clothes off. So now I have to have a good intro video. Okay. You see where I'm getting at. We're going to shoot an intro video right now, just for my OnlyFans, just so they can see it. So let me pop up on my OnlyFans, onlyfans.com. Let me log in and hit login. Okay, don't save my password. Oh, man. Bert Kreischer. What the heck? The OnlyFans roast of Burt Kreischer. Why is this OnlyFans.tv/Whitney Cummings? Why would I? This is so. Oh my gosh. There's a whole full roast on here. There's a 50-minute roast. I'm going to mute this. That's crazy. Good. I mean, OnlyFans is really should be more. It's an entirely white crowd. OnlyFans should be more. Yeah, I would definitely use. It's all. There's not one comedian of color on stage. Oh, there's Darnell Rawlings. Okay, there you go. There's one. Oh yeah, OnlyFans anyway is basically. It should basically be Patreon, just a little bit less restrictive. Okay, anyway, so let me get back to my profile. Let me get back to my profile. See the one video that I put up. All right, let me shoot my OnlyFans intro. I think it should be something, along the lines of me, just talking about myself and really, and also just showing off that I unbuttoned one more button on this button up, on this short sleeve button up I have on, Hawaiian style short sleeve button up. And I should really just talk about, how C+ comedy is, my bread and butter, my little baby girl. And yes, I gendered it. How C+ comedy is my little baby girl, and I am, or baby they, whatever. And and I am so proud of it, and it's going to be 10 years old in August, and I've been, I'm good at, so let's explain what C+ comedy is. C+ comedy is a website where I interview comedians, and I have a host of podcasts. I host a bunch of podcasts as well as a news style show sometimes, and that's pretty much it. And I think that's what I should get along. And then, you can also follow us basically anywhere at C+ Comedy, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. What's the other one? YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I guess that works. Basically anywhere that there's a social network, you type in at C+ Comedy and you'll find this. And essentially, I sit down with comedians, your favorite comedians. Who are some people you like? You like Craig Ferguson? I've sat down with him. You like Maria Bamford? I sat down with her. I can't think. Ron Funches, Jermaine Fowler. Apparently, years ago, I'd spoken to Janelle James, and I remember I sat down. I remember watching the pilot to Abbott Elementary when it aired on ABC. Really on Hulu, that's when I watched it. And I remember seeing her and going, "Oh my God!" I talked to her before she was now super famous. I've talked to Jimmy Pardo, the Sklar brothers. Let me get a woman, Lori Martin, Jen Kirkman, multiple times. I've done it all. Spanish Aki Presents, Chris Gethard. I'm just naming every Lyric Lewis most recently. Kurt Fuller, that'll be coming out, famous character actor. I've talked to so many, Megan Amram, Adam Devine, Matt Brogger. I've talked to Michelle Ortiz, Mo Welch. I've talked to so many people, and I'm good at it. And you can hear in these interviews when people go, "Oh, it's a good question," Josh Gondelman, who's written for Desus and Mero and Last Week Tonight, goes, "That's a good question." Larry the Cable Guy goes, "That's a good question." I've talked to a lot of people. I just realized that. I talked to so many great people, and I don't make money from it. I don't make money from it. I would love to. But right now I don't. And that's what makes me stand out. I see sometimes. I'll see somebody else in my similar position, and I'll click on their interviews, and I'll be a little bit pissed off because they got somebody like pretty big, and I'll be like, how in the world did this person get somebody pretty big? Oh, it's because they have 6,000 followers, as opposed to my 120 or 105 or however many is on the YouTube channel, and then I'll look at the interviews. And they'll have ugly camera angles, or they'll more than likely just have bad questions. And me, I have good questions. I'm so smart and so good at what I do because I just have a conversation with the comedian. I always just have, or the entertainment person. It's not always a comedian. I talk to people and I treat them exactly as they should be treated, exactly the same as I want to be treated. And we have fun. We make jokes. I ask them I don't ask them how they got into comedy. I ask questions along those lines. I lead them to it. If I was in Law and Order and I was a lawyer, if I was prosecution, or defense, talking to a person on the stand, the other person would be like, the other lawyer would be like, objection, leading. And then the doctor, I was going to say, the big judge guy is going to be like, if you watch the video, you just saw me look down. Nova is very hungry and she's walking around my legs right now. Oh, my little baby. And the lawyer will be like, hold. Wait, what does he say? Objection, sustained. Okay, boom. There you go. Anyway, that's what C Plus Comedy is. And then also, 3 different podcasts and their video podcasts and everything like that. And then also News Time, which is the second longest thing I've been doing. Actually, that might be the longest thing I've been doing. Is News Time, and that's just like, just an unfunny thing where I take one story and I dive deep down into it. And that's what C Plus Comedy is. You just get in there and you try to be informative and funny. Something that people can go, oh, I learned something, and also, I think I laughed once or twice. That's what that is. That's what we do here. And if you join my OnlyFans, you will see that. You will see that it all works, and it's all good, and it's enjoyable, and this, that, the other, etc., yada yada yada. All right, that was a good intro video. You see what I did there? I led right into the intro video. I thought it was pretty funny. All right, we'll cut that out, and then I'll put it on the OnlyFans. Hey, thank you for shooting that intro video with me, and also thank you for listening to LinkedIn Logs, the premier LinkedIn influencer and OnlyFans podcast for the website cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. If you want to watch a video version of this show, head to youtube.com/cpluscomedy, where you can see me in all my sweaty glory. If you want to listen to our other podcasts, The Constitutionals, which is the entertainment business news podcast, where I talk about entertainment business news, as well as Late Night Lately, where I recap what's happening. Well, not recap. It's not a recap. Where I talk about the best things that happen in late night for the week, as well as tell jokes. There's a monologue there. You can also watch on youtube.com/cpluscomedy our premiere news show, News Time, which is like the Daily Show, except way less funny. You can follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at C Plus Comedy. Follow me on those platforms at Chad Black White. Again, head to the website, subscribe, do all that stuff. And thank you for listening. I can't believe that I forgot to do this theme song again as I was closing this up. But you know what? It doesn't matter because we're all having a nice time. Okay. Well, bye.